All right, you guys, good morning and welcome to the channel. I'm Craig, and today we're actually gonna go down and to ECP powder coat and pick up all the front suspension for my Galaxy. It finally got powder coated. Today is actually Thursday, so I'm gonna head down to ECP to pick up the front control arms and a lot of other powder coated parts for my Galaxy. We can get them on the car as soon as possible. My goal is next week to get the front suspension back on that car so we can work on focusing surely on getting the motor and trans setup done for that car. So we're gonna hop in the egg, throw everything in the back seat, and go pick up the parts for the Galaxy. All right, guys, we just got to powder coat. Oh my gosh, so we couldn't powder coat these because there's some composites in them that we didn't want to destroy. So we're actually gonna paint these a different way so we don't wreck my headlight buckets. But look at the control arms, oh my goodness. That is phenomenal. You can see we got the, I'll just put some clips in. These things were like trash when I brought them in. I'm blown away about how nice everything came out. I mean, that's incredible how nice everything looks. ECP really killed it for sure. So big shout out to them. They're in El Cajon. If you're in the San Diego area, I definitely recommend them. So we're gonna get all these things in the car and head back up to my house, get them on the car. Just gotta take one last walk around of these lower control arms. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think you can make metal look this nice. Looks like $1 million. Heck yeah, I'm pumped. All right guys, so I just got everything loaded in the car. Kinda interestingly, it all fit though. So we're gonna get it back up, lay everything out, and check it all out. All right, you guys, I would say good morning, but good afternoon. As you can see, the sun's already like starting to go down because I spent all day getting the last previous videos up for you guys to watch because my computer decided to be a complete potato today. So, starting the video off a little bit later than I wanted to, but today I wanted to lay out the entire suspension that I have for this car. I've said this 100 times in a million videos saying I always have parts for this car, but I haven't showed them to you yet. Well, in this video I'm gonna show them to you. So I have all freshly powder coated control arms, you know, suspension components, steering components, all sorts of stuff for this car. It's all brand new steering, ball joints, bushings, everything that you can name for this car. The only thing I don't have is the brakes and the spindles. Those are the only two things I'm missing. I know where the brakes are. I can go pick them up right now, and then I just have to order the spindles. Those are the only two pieces I'm missing. So we're gonna lay everything out, kind of go over it, and start slowly putting stuff back on this car. Finally, I want to put stuff back on it. Also, secondary update, I have finally got a pair of overalls. So you're gonna see me wearing overalls on a lot of videos. So now I look like I have achieved official old fartness wearing old overalls. I don't really care. I'm not ruining my clothes anymore. I'm tired of wrecking all my jeans. So we can get to work. All right, I figured I might as well do this since they're all laid out. I might as well show you them first. Get a load of this. Ooh, dang. These are all of the parts. These are all the original parts. I didn't get a single thing replaced. I just simply set everything out to get powder coated. Big shout out to ECP Powder in El Cajon for doing all this. This is the original control arm. Look how nice that looks. Powder coat your stuff, guys. It makes a world of difference. These things were beat to hell. And they brought them back. Everything looks literally wet. It's awesome. I love it. I've been sitting on this counter for a couple weeks now just because I haven't had all the parts, but now I do. So I figured I'd show them. So these are the lower control arms. These are, I believe, like the upper, I guess, control arm mount, alignment piece, whatever these are called. I don't know the actual name. Just a couple miscellaneous pieces. The sway bar, you can see the sway bar came out awesome. It looks brand new. Two upper control arms, the springs for the hood hinges, which are right here. And then all the other pieces that are outside. So these are the main components that will sit on the car. The only thing that's missing to kind of tie this lower suspension in together is the spindles. All the ball joints and stuff is what you just saw me kind of place outside. So I'm super happy with the way this came out. I'm gonna lay all this stuff outside and go take a look. All right, look at that. It just looks so cool. So satisfying to see all this stuff. This is all the original stuff too, besides what's bagged. Everything's original. So I'm just gonna run through this real quick. I mean, I don't even know what some of this stuff is just because it's been so long. So if I get anything wrong, don't really kill me, I'm sorry. But these are just, you know, the headlight buckets. The reason these aren't powder coated right now, these are sandblasted, and the reason they aren't is because they actually have nylon adjusters. So you can actually see right down in here, that's a nylon adjuster. And when they powder coat them, they'll bake those and they'll melt and they'll get destroyed. Second of all, the adjusters, when they get powder coated, these screws will pretty much get welded together because the powder coat is such like a strong, hard coating, you won't be able to turn the screws anymore. So he said it'd be better off painting it. So what we'll probably end up using is the same top coat that I used when I powder coated the frame, or not powder coated, when I top coated the frame. When I did the POR 15 on this, it's not UV resistant, so they make a top coat. So I had to spray the top coat on that. So that's actually what you see on top. It doesn't look any different. It's just a protective UV top coat, and it's gloss black. So I'll probably spray that on the headlight buckets so I can still use them. And coming around, we have our sway bars and steering stuff and just all miscellaneous stuff. I know the bushings for these are right here. So I've got sway bar bushings, sway bar brackets, sway bar itself, hood hinge springs. I think this is the idler arm, drag link. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. I think that's the idler arm mount, if I remember correctly. Lower control, lower, upper, hood hinge, sway bar stuff. All these are all ball joints and stuff like that. And then I have 2 new tie rods back there, upper ball joints right there, idler adjuster arms, steering adjustment mount thingies. I'll get all the terms wrong, but still, you can see I have pretty much everything here. The only thing I am missing for certain is the steering ram. Now, if you're familiar with that, I'll show you real quick. So these cars actually use a pretty much hydro assisted ram or whatever with the power steering instead of using a rack or just the box. They have a manual box with a power steering assisted ram, so it's kind of confusing. This is the power ram, and it pretty much has a shock reservoir that helps assist the steering. These things suck. I never liked them. They're really expensive to replace and fix. I have a brand new one with the shock or whatever dampener at Michael's. Michael's was nice enough to get me it off of his car because he's doing rack steering. His 69 Mustang uses the same style of steering, so he is nice enough to give that to me off of his car since he won't need it anymore, so that'll be going directly onto the Galaxy. And then, like I said earlier, the only other thing I'm missing is the actual spindles. I have spindles right here, but I don't think I'm going to use these brakes. I have a good feeling we're going to get some nice good Wilwoods on this thing that you should be seeing in the near future. And then I also have a new steering box coming whenever I pick that up, and these are all the old stuff, so this is all just junk I'm not using besides the cowl. I'm gonna use the cowl, obviously. The one thing I will point out real quick, and I'm actually gonna save this for a separate video, is in this bag, the reason it's not out is it's a special lower caster adjusting, I guess, nut, mount, whatever you bolt, whatever you want to call it. That sits directly in the front of this lower control arm and adjusts with caster, and it's a really complicated system, and I'm going to make an entire video on that and installing that, so stay tuned for that. That's something every Galaxy from 60 to 64 needs right there. All right, now begins the fun part where a lot of you guys will probably laugh at me because obviously this car's been apart for a while. I get to go on my phone and search through 8,000 photos of cars and find all the photos that I took of the suspension when I was tearing it apart and try to teach myself how the hell to put all this stuff back together. That sounds like a great time. So this is gonna take a couple hours for me to figure this out. So without further ado, you're gonna see a couple clips over a series of days. I'm sure you're getting the front suspension back on this car, but let's get right to it. All right, real quick before I don't get the chance, I just want to take a moment before this thing gets super dirty. Look at how spotless this thing is right now. I mean, it's like literally never this clean. All the way down, you guys can't really see it. Cross member's all clean from that sponsored segment we did with Blaster. Got it all cleaned up. I'm so happy with the way this looks right now. It just looks awesome. No wires all over the place. It's very clean. I mean, I should probably reorganize my spark plug wires, but still. Alright guys, so after that last clip you guys just saw, I started kind of immediately putting things on. However, I didn't finish that video, so I have another separate video of me actually installing everything. It goes into a lot of depth about specific important things that are on the front of that car that I wanted to mention, so there's a whole separate video on that. It's pretty long. It's about done now, so you'll see that coming up here soon, but I did want to make a video kind of like running over everything that I got for the car, just kind of laying out piece by piece. So if you're curious on front suspension, kind of looking at what I did, running through it piece by piece, you can kind of see what I got. So it's just basically a simple steering setup, bushing setup, and then I painted all the metal parts. So it's pretty simple. So I had a bunch of clips of me like bringing all the rusty pieces down there, but I have absolutely no clue where they went. So this video would have been a little longer, but yeah, sorry, I just kind of lost those clips. But anyways, I'm gonna put this video up now. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like the video. If you did enjoy, it mean a lot to me. Let me do a thing down in the comments below. Any questions or comments on the front suspension, I'll try to answer them the best of my ability because I will be out of town on Pismo Beach this weekend. So I want to get this video so you guys have something to watch over the weekend. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.